So if you're bored of looking like this at impact, you've been told you're looking to get some shaft lean, but you just can't do it, here's a few reasons why not. Okay, so there's usually some sort of cause that's stopping you or preventing you wanting to do this impact. It's not just a case of you can't do it, very, very rare. You've got to be in the right position to be able to want to do this or need to do it in the first place to make your shot, desirable and efficient. So let's start with number one. If you've got the club face, for whatever reason, it could be grip, wrists, but the club face is too open in the downswing here, so the face pointing over or the toe pointing that way somewhere, face pointing up and out to the right. Absolutely no way do I want to lean that shaft forward. The more I lean it forward, the more the face points right to make the shot worse. So you might have to give it some sort of flick to square the club face up. Now, that's the right thing to do in terms of trying to get the ball to the target. The only problem is when you do this, you hit the ground first. If you do hit the ball well, probably going to be sort of high, weak, maybe a little bit left as well. You can get some thin ones as well doing that. But you wouldn't lean it forward with the face that open. So you've got to change the club face first. We want to get it more closed or feel like it's more closed. And then be able to lean the shaft forward. So going open here, ball goes to the camera. This makes sense to square it up. More closed, I wouldn't want to do this. It's going left. I'd want to keep the face or the handle forward to keep the face open. We also need to have some sort of credit, if you like. And by that I mean credit with this wrist hinge here. It's very tough to create any angles here. Don't often see that if you haven't got any hinge on the backswing. So on the way down, you're almost trying to undo what you've done on the backswing. So if we can add some wrist hinge here, whichever way you go with it, depending on your club face and what shot you're trying to hit, we can keep some of it for a bit longer. It's always going to unhinge this way, but if you've got none there to begin with, it's tough to add it on the way down. The club's going to tend to want to go like that through the ball. So if you need to add a bit more hinge here, that can help delay when the club does this. A lot of time we see people quite steep as well, so steep being the shaft going this way. Now, again, for whatever reason, if it gets up here and I want to lean the shaft forward, unlikely to do that. It's just going to bury the ball and the club into the ground. So a lot of players will go here, push the hip forward to make the club go this way, and now I can't lean it forward. I've got the same problem with that club face. I'm going to have to do this and scoop it through the golf ball. So you see, steep, wouldn't want to do this. This is likely. Dynamic lie, the shaft gets really high. I have to sort of flick at it here. Tend to get that lot as well. Bit linked to that is where, rather than being steep, but this going in the way with this hip, it could be this way. It could be you turning out the way and getting stuck in here. But if you're stuck at any point, and by stuck I mean this right elbow being behind your hip, unlikely I'm going to want to lean the shaft, so I just can't get to the ball. I have to give it a bit of a flick to try and hit it. So you want to get this elbow more in front of the hip. You've got more chance then, with the right face, to strike down the ball, which we need to get a divot, more penetrating ball flight with the hands ahead. And you saw there when I did that, I was pressing my body forward to get some pressure on the left foot. Again, if you're not quite forward, it's harder, not impossible, but it's harder to get the shaft and the handle ahead of the ball. I tend to see people, if they move off this way, let's say, and they spin, probably wouldn't want to reach like that. I'd have to give it a bit of a flick. Or if I go this way and this way, again, probably want to give it a little bit of a flick here. Likewise, if you go too much this way and you feel you're going to smash down the ball too much, you probably won't. You'll probably want to do this and get the ball up in the air. So getting your body in the right position at the right time, very important to want to get that shaft leaning forward for that, flight that we're looking for, a bit more distance, a bit more club head speed too, and all in all, a better contact. So that's just generic examples of things that can happen to prevent you leaning the shaft forward. If you want me to have a look at your swing, check out the code down below, and you can log in this code for basically a half-price lesson to see what's causing you issues, because it's very unlikely to be just that you can't do it. Something will be happening, preventing your body doing it, or preventing you from hitting the target.